In this video, we will learn some Power BI, Excel Power BI. So I have installed Power BI on my computer and I have launched it. So this is the opening screen that you see. And I have a file called financial sample, which I will try to import here. So I say get data. Now, if I exit out of this, I can get data from here as well. Let's just get data from here. It will throw another pop-up window. Here, it's giving me a list of all the possible types of data sources, so Excel, CSV, XML, JSON, and so on. Lots of possible sources of data. Of course, Excel is the most popular. It's the first option, so I say connect. And financial sample is my data file. And it's reading it. It has read it. And it is showing financials. So it recognized a range by the name financials. And if I click on it, it will show me the data. Okay, so I have segment, country, product, discount band, units sold, and so on. I can load it, and I can also transform it before loading it. So I just want to show you some transform data activities. So we'll click on transform data. So for example, it says units sold, but units sold has some decimals. So if I don't want to see decimals, I want to see whole numbers. I can select this unit sold, and the data type here is decimal. I can change it to whole number, and I can say replace current, and you can see the decimals are gone. If I wanted to convert all these segments to, let's say, uppercase, I can select it, click on transform, click on format, and say uppercase. It has converted to uppercase. On the right, you will notice it's called applied steps. So first, it's keeping a log of all the changes I'm making. So I first changed the type, then I changed to uppercase. I can also get rid of some rows of data. So let's suppose I'm no longer interested in this product called Montana. So I can select Montana and click deselect Montana and say, okay, so the Montana records are gone. And in the log, it has added a thing called filtered rows. Okay, so I'm done with my transformations. So I can click on the home button and say close and apply. Close and apply. And it's applying the changes and loading data to the model, working on it. Okay, we're ready. So now the data has been loaded, it's been transformed. So on the top left, not exactly top, but somewhere on the top, you will see three things. This is the report view, which is what we see right now, which is really the dashboard, the empty canvas. Then I have the data view. I see the data. And then there's a model view in which I can see the model. Oh, it's saying upgrade to the new model. Okay, upgrade now. So we have just one table. So the model is very simple. But if we had two tables with a common field, we could connect those two tables, and that would be our new model. So why don't we create a new table? If we go back to the data view, see there's a new table option. And I can actually create a table from here. The default name of the new table is table, but let's suppose we want the name to be calendar. And we are adding one field called the date field. So calendar is a function where if you put the start date and the end date, it creates a column of all the dates between those two dates. So the first date, let's say 2013, January 1st, comma, and the end date is 2014, December 31st. So 2 full years. So 730 rows. I click on apply. and it has created a new table. So on the right here, you see calendar. This was not here a minute ago. We just had financials. But now we have calendar with a date field, and there's 730 rows here. So now we have two tables. So if we go to the model view, I see financials, I see calendar, and the date is a common field. So I connect the date to date. So this is our new model. And I'll show you why we did this. We wanted to filter the data by dates and quarters and months, etc. And so I'll show you how to make use of this model. Okay, so now we are ready to create some visuals. So we'll go to the visual view or the report view, which is also the dashboard view. Let's focus on the right. We see we have the fields. So we have two tables, calendar and financials. In financials, these are my fields. Just like in pivot tables, it recognizes quantitative and qualitative and date variables. So here, if it recognizes a variable to be a quantitative variable, it puts a sigma next to it. Okay, so all the quantitative variables have sigma, all the non-quantitative variables don't have the sigma. Okay, so this is going to be our dashboard. We can start by putting a title. If I insert a text box, then I can use this text box to write the title of my dashboard, executive dashboard financials. And we can increase, make it bold, make it bigger. Okay. All right. So here we can create some visuals, some charts. So for example, we want gross sales broken up by various categories. So we bring gross sales here and we can slice it and dice it in a variety of ways, just like in pivot tables. So just like in pivot tables, we have an axis for a qualitative variable, a legend for the qualitative variable, and these are the values. So we've already picked the values. Okay, and the filtering happens here. So if I want to slice it by segment, I just click on segment and it's sliced by segment. Notice that it also sorts it by descending order. Or instead of segment, I can slice it by country there. Or instead of country, I can slice it by product. Okay, let's go back to segment. Now suppose I want to slice it within segment by country. So I can choose country and it will put a legend. So it puts the country on the legend and segment on axis. Of course, I can switch it around. I can choose country first and then add segment. So I've switched it. Okay. Now you can also change the type of the chart. While it is selected, you can just say make it a stacked bar chart, or make it a stacked column chart, or a clustered bar chart, or a clustered column chart. This was our default anyways, or 100% stacked bar chart, or 100% stacked column chart. You get the idea. You can make it a line chart, although that's not a very good idea because line charts are for showing trends and our x-axis here is not time. So let's go back to clustered column chart. So that's one of our visuals. I can add another visual. So let's say this time I want to see the world map and I want to see how the sales are distributed over the world. So I can start by country. If I put country here, it puts the world map. Okay. And if now here I put, let's say, profit, I drop profit here. So it will show me profit by the bubbles. So the size of the bubble is telling me the value of the profit. Okay, so that's a nice visual to see how profits are distributed around the world. Um, let's create another visual of profit and let's try to do this over time. So let's put date here, and it splits it into 2013, 2014. Now, if I wanted to do it not by year but quarter, so I can get rid of year and it shows quarters. If I don't want quarters but months, they're months. Okay. Now, this is showing all the months of 2013 and 2014. By the way, these data are all synced with each other. Okay, so this is profit, this is also profit. Okay. Now, one thing we will do is for filtering by quarters or months or years, we will add calendar, no, date, this date. We'll add this date somewhere here and we're going to slice it. Okay, so while this is selected, go to the visual and there's a slicer. So slice it. So it sliced it to year and the year drops down to quarters. The years drop down to quarters and the quarters drop down to months. Okay. Now I can select, let's say I select 2013. Notice that all these values changed. Everything changed. Why? Because it's only showing the values for 2013. If I select 2014, all the values changed because it's only showing 2014. If I wanted to select both, I will press Control and select this. Okay. So now you get the idea. You can create any number of visuals. Uh, this one was gross sale. This one was profit. You can pick any of these quantitative variables, put it here, and then you choose a categorical variable to act as an axis or to act as a legend or to act as a filter. Okay. And you can save this as financial visualizations. So this was just an introductory video for Power BI. Okay, so that's the end of this video. Thank you.